The Devils did it. They finally did it. Tom Fitzgerald has been fired and is no longer the GM of the team. Like I said in that IG post a couple days ago, the bad man is gone. He can't hurt us anymore. I didn't think that they were going to do it. Every tweet, every communication from ownership, it just seemed like the status quo was that they were happy with the job that Fitzgerald was doing and nothing was going to change. And after a flurry of moves made across the league, GMs being fired, coaches being fired, the Devils decided to do the right thing. And they said, we need to get in on this too. And I'm so shocked that they actually did do it, because everything to this point with the Devils just missing the playoffs again, and it just seemed like, similar to what the Yankees are going through. It's just, it just didn't work out. When all of these moves that I'm going to line up for you in a second are listed out, you realize, oh wait, this dude was actually a full-blown dumbass. Like, he was not good at his job. Some of the bad moves that he's making, and this is just off the top of my head before I started recording, giving Palat that contract after not being able to close Johnny Gaudreau, God rest his soul, and then not being able to get Palat's contract off the books in time for us to try and trade for Quinn Hughes, giving up a first-round pick for 36-year-old Jacob Markstrom, and then giving him this 2-year extension after he's been playing horribly. Like, he was playing horribly at the beginning of the season. He's been horrible this entire season. He's probably a massive factor in why the Devils missed the playoffs this year. Countless bad drafts and wasted first-round picks. Alex Holtz, Shakir Mukhamadullin. And I know he doesn't really count because he was used to trade for Timo Meier, but that was a strange pick at the time. Simone Nemeth, he can develop into a good defenseman, but Devils need centers. Anton Salaev as, again, another defenseman when we need centers, and he's already looking like a bust. Chase Stillman at the end of the first round in the 2021 draft made no sense. That dude was a fourth-round talent at best. Trading a second-round pick away for 20 games of Brian Dumoulin when we could have retained his entire salary and decided not to. Not being able to find a true winger for Jack Hughes. Giving everyone on this roster and your mother a no-move clause, which, again, contributed to not being able to land Quinn Hughes. That's the biggest one. What sealed his fate? Not landing Quinn Hughes this season. He straight up lied to the media, lied to the fans, said, oh, he could have pulled the trigger for Quinn Hughes. He just decided not to. No, we didn't have the cap space. We didn't have the assets. And it's because you've wasted all. Giving Luke Hughes too much money. Not trading a 7th-round pick for Fabian Zetterlund at the deadline last year when we were starved for depth scoring, who already had experience playing with Jack Hughes. And I just watched him about 20 minutes ago score his 17th goal of the season. And we could have had that for a 7th-round pick. Not being able to find a true replacement for Michael McLeod after the Hockey Canada stuff. However, he did have a couple good things during his tenure, and I'm willing to give him credit on these. Signing Jack to an extension early, which is probably the best contract in the league right now. Jack is way overproducing what he is being paid at the moment. Trading for Timo Meier, even though Timo Meier really hasn't been the guy that we thought he was since we've gotten him, I'm not going to fault Tom Fitzgerald for that. And then signing him to an extension below market value, which is incredibly valuable at this point because people were thinking he was going to get $10 million a year, and he got him to like 8.8. And then drafting Dawson Mercer. I know Mercer is a bit of a hot button issue. People can't tell if he's a bust or not. That dude has never missed a game in his career. He's producing at half a point a game for his entire career. I don't consider that a bust. I think Dawson Mercer has been a good player. He just hasn't lived up to his potential. And maybe that's another failure of Tom Fitzgerald, not bringing in the staff to develop these guys to live up to their full potential. And then the last one, signing Dougie Hamilton. This can't go unsaid because signing Dougie as one of the first premier agents to ever sign with the Devils. New Jersey was not a place that you signed with. We were always outbid by the Rangers or even the Islanders or Philadelphia or a bigger market team. New Jersey just wasn't a popular place to sign with. And Tom Fitzgerald really got it out to the league. And this is like doubling on top of this. Tom Fitzgerald got it out to the league that New Jersey is actually a great place to live and a great place to play. And if you want to win, you should come to New Jersey. And he got there in the first couple of years of his tenure, but then we've completely regressed since then, mostly by the bad moves that I listed out earlier. With all that said, we're facing the most important offseason in the history of the Devils franchise at the moment. Whoever the Devils hire this offseason to be the new GM has to be the right pick. It has to work out. There is no second chance with this core. If we get a guy that can't do it, then Jack Hughes might as well get traded. Nico Hischier might as well get traded. Jesper Bratt might as well get traded, and we'll just start. Because we're not going to be able to turn it around again. We have a very enviable situation right now where we have most of the core pieces in place that can contribute to a winning team. I think the guy that is going to be able to do this is Sonny Mehta from the Florida Panthers. He's the AGM of the Florida Panthers. He's from Wyckoff, New Jersey. He was a key cog and one of the first real hockey minds that started using analytics and was one of the main reasons that the Panthers were as good as they were the last couple of years. I know that they're missing the playoffs this year, but I think they're just tired from winning the Stanley Cup and going to the Stanley Cup for 3 straight seasons. He was one of the key minds behind that roster. And he grew up a Devils fan. Like, he got his start in hockey at Continental Airlines Arena. It just makes so much sense to bring him in and have him be the face. It just makes too much sense. We have to figure out how we're going to extend Nico Hischier, where we're going to get the cap space to do that. We're going to have to get rid of all of the dead weight on the team to make sure that we can become cap compliant again, because our cap space situation is garbage. We need to find a true winger for Jack Hughes to play with. And this is the most important thing that we can do. If it's up to me, I'm doing absolutely everything it takes to get Brady Tkachuk away from the Senators and on Jack's wing for the start of next season. The Canadian media has had it out for him ever since the Olympics happened. And probably even before that, they were a little testy with him. But now, just because he was on that Team USA, a lot of Canadian journalists are very anal with him and very pissy with the questions that they're asking him. And I think he's about fed up. I think he wants out, regardless if they're going to the playoffs this year or not. And if that's the case, he needs to have a different red and black sweater on next year. Jack and him are already great friends in real life. His wife is from Brielle. He has a shore house in New Jersey. It just makes too much sense. He would change the entire dynamic of the lineup, having him here as a deterrent for anyone that wants to fuck with Jack, and as a just bona fide hockey player. As a dude, he's going to be a wrecking ball on that line. He can score for Jack. He can set Jack up. He can create space. He is just everything that the Devils lack and everything that the Devils need. He would be a franchise changer if we were able to land him. The other thing that the Devils need to do is they need to put themselves in a position to win the Quinn Hughes sweepstakes when he's a free agent the year after next. They need to figure out that cap situation, like I was saying earlier, primarily, number one, to pay Nico, to fit in Brady Tkachuk, and 3, Quinn Hughes. We need to assemble a Hughes Triforce. It needs to happen. That is how the franchise gets saved. That is how this core is not wasted. This is how this core wins a Stanley Cup. Extend Nico. You get Brady Tkachuk. You land Quinn Hughes. And you find a third-line center finally. Cody Glass has been great this year. He might hit 20 goals on the season. It would be his career high. I would love for that to continue next year. But we need to get stronger down the middle.